Hi there, everyone. We're going to take a look at current flooding and ongoing flooding. Oh, no, sorry. Current flooding and upcoming flooding for the Plains region of the United States. So you guys may have been following what has happened in Nebraska, Iowa, South Dakota. You know, the Great Plains region of the United States has been battered with just absolutely terrible flooding. If we're actually going to go southeast here, we're looking at the river forecast flood page available through NOAA's National Weather Service. The area of like eastern Nebraska is recovering from a severe flood that affected many area rivers, most notably rivers like the Elkhorn, the Platte River, and the Missouri River. The Missouri River continues to experience pretty severe flooding, but the flood crest is moving downstream. The Platte River has fallen below flood stage, I believe, in most, if not all, locations now. I just wanted to show you some of these hydrographs because they're just crazy. You can see a lot of places are falling now. There was some additional rain today, but you can see like the Big Blue River, there was a record crest there. It beat the record by almost a foot. We're going to look at, there's the Platte River near Ashland, Nebraska, went a foot over the record. Elkhorn River at Waterloo, this is probably pretty, this is where this made some headlines. Elkhorn River went, I believe, 5 feet above its record. It went well into the major flood category, which has never happened before along the Elkhorn River in the Waterloo area. So you can see the water levels have receded. The Platte River near Lashara went into the record category. And there's just so many rivers that went to either major or record. There's another record flooding location right here. It's just crazy the amount of flooding that we have seen up in this area, like Logan Creek. There you go. There's another record flooding location. So again, the flooding is improving in eastern Nebraska, except if you're along the Missouri River, you're still dealing with some issues there. You can see Missouri River is starting to go down in some places, like Missouri River at Omaha has crested and is going down, but there could be some crests. There could be some additional rises coming up. Missouri River at Plattsmouth. Wow, look at that. Just take a look at how far above the record it went. Not only did it get in the major flood category, but it went well above the record. The major flood stage is 35 feet at this location, and it went to 40.62 feet preliminarily. It's still in the major flood category right now. It is falling, thankfully, and will hopefully be below the major category by tomorrow. But you can see it just not only broke the record, but just utterly shattered it. So the type of flooding that we're just seeing in these areas is just unreal. In Nebraska City, there you go. Floodwaters receding there, but look how far it shot up over the record there, at least 2 feet. Just all up and down the Missouri River. You can see another record crest was reached here at Brownville, almost a foot over the record. So right now, this is where the flood crest is. It's roughly in far northwestern Missouri. You may have heard of like Craig, Missouri, having a levee breach. So this is where the flood crest is right now, or the flood wave, I guess you could say. We got a record flood happening right now near the Rouleau gauge. It's moving downstream. St. Joseph will probably be reaching a crest here in a day or so. But just crazy amounts of flooding. So this flood wave will continue to move down the Missouri River with time. There's just a lot of flooding going on, and I want to go back up into South Dakota because right now the South Dakota area actually has some of the worst flooding. Well, I wouldn't say the worst, but it has some of the highest flood predictions right now. We got another round of flooding expected in South Dakota. I mean, some areas are still flooding pretty bad, but it's actually expected to get a lot worse, and that's very unfortunate for this area. Let me actually go to. You can see a little bit more with here. Let me just show you some of these gauges in South Dakota, such as this white. Look at that. I mean, just crazy. You can see this is probably from a snow melt and some additional storms expected. The record here is at 16 feet. It's supposed to get to 23.6 feet. It's just crazy. I've never seen anything like this. And more record flooding there along the White River, going as you go down here. Flooding there as well. The James River in South Dakota, which has been known to flood many times in the past. We got flooding expecting to develop. The northern part of the James River, not yet, but the southern part has been flooding. As a matter of fact, there's Mitchell, South Dakota, expected to see major flooding. There's record flooding currently forecast. Oh, actually, they just lowered that. They just updated that. Just shy of the record, though. They're expecting rises, which is already in the major category of the Scotland gauge on the James River. It's expected to rise again to near record territory. It could actually go above the record. So major flooding in this area. Yankton, South Dakota, there you go. They've already been dealing with some flooding in this area, and now we got some snow melt coming from the north and in the immediate areas that are expected to further aggravate the flooding problems. You know, some areas the water has been receding, in other areas it has not. But in the areas where the water has receded, it looks like it's going to come right back up. So they just updated all of these. So you can see like the Big Sioux River, which already went very high, is expected to go just as high as it was before, if not worse. Look at that. So we just had a record flood here, right here, and it's expected to shoot above the record again and be even worse. It's just I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before, or it's been a long time since I've seen something this bad, where the flooding is so widespread and so many records are being broken. There you go, Marshall, Minnesota, expected to break the record maybe twice right there, according to this. So you can see we had a big strong storm system. There was some snowpack in the area, and we had a strong system produce a lot of precipitation over this area, and it triggered massive flooding. And now we actually there are areas that still have a deep snowpack, and those areas are now getting above freezing on the regular. So water is expected to be released in these river systems as time goes on. And we're expected to see more flooding in the area. They will be developing farther north, and we're actually going to focus on the Red River because we already had one video released on the Red River in the north. The flood numbers have gone up yet again, and now we are looking at potential record flooding. And we're going to take a look at that in the next video, actually, just because this is kind of a big overview of what's happening now. So we'll be talking about the Red River specifically in the next video here. So go ahead and check that out.